right, let's review equivalent fractions using this problem. Michaela walked 5/12 of a mile to her friend's house. Which distance is shorter than 5/12 of a mile? So let's compare these. So first, let's look at 10/12. 10/24. Well, if you remember, if we divide or multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number, we can find equivalent fractions. So if I know that I want to compare this to a fraction with a denominator of 12, I would put 12 as my denominator here. And I would think, what did I do to 24 to get to 12? Well, if you know your facts, you would know that 24 divided by 2 equals 12. So since that's the case, I would divide my numerator by 2 as well. And 10 divided by 2 equals 5. And therefore, I have determined that 10/24 is equal to 5/12, which means that that cannot be the answer because I'm looking for an amount that is shorter. Okay, let's look at the next one, 5/11. Well, if you recall from the lesson, when our numerators are the same, we can look at our denominators to determine which one is less than, greater than, or if they're equal to. So we have 5/11. I'm just going to put a little box here. And then we have 5/12. Well, remember, the larger the denominator, the smaller the piece. Therefore, if I have 5 pieces of both fractions, but in this one, the size of my pieces are 11ths, and in this one, the size of my pieces are 12ths, that means that since the 11th pieces are bigger, 5/11 is larger. That means that one can also not be my answer. Let's look at the next one. So we have 3/8 compared to 5/12. Well, if we think about a fraction that both of these can fit into equally, if we think of a multiple both of these can fit into equally, we know that both 8 and 12 fit equally into 24. So if I make 24 my denominator for both of them, I will find an equivalent fraction. Well, if I multiply 8 times 3, that gives me 24. So that means I also need to multiply 3 by 3, and that's going to give me a numerator of 9. So that means, sorry, I think I got off my thing. That means that 3/8 is equal to 9/24. Now, looking at it this way, I would multiply 12 times 2 to get 24. So I have to multiply 5 times 2, and that's going to give me 10. So 10/24 is equivalent to 5/12. Now I see that 9/24 is less than 10/24. And since those equivalent fractions are compared with a less than symbol, that means that our original fractions are also compared with a less than symbol. So I can see that 3/8 is less than 5/12. And that would be our correct answer since we're looking for the one that is shorter than. But remember, we always want to look at all of our answers just to be sure. So let's go ahead and look at 4/9 as well. So with 4/9, sorry, I'm trying to write these for you, and 5/12, the first multiple that I can think of that these have in common would be 36. So if I do 36 as my denominator here, 36 as my denominator here, then I know that 9 times 4 equals 36. So I have to multiply my numerator by 4, and that gives me 16. On this side, I do 12 times 3 to get to 36, which means I have to multiply my numerator, and so 5 times 3 is 15. I can see that 16/36 is greater than 15/36, which also means that 4/9 is greater than 5/12. And therefore, that one could not be our answer either. So there you have it. That is how we find equivalent fractions using common denominators.